Hi boys and girls, today we are going to be making a cityscape. What a cityscape means is that it is a landscape, but instead of just seeing the land, we also see the city. So today we're focusing on the background for our city. What we are going to do is we are going to make either a sunrise or a sunset scene using watercolor pencils. That is the bin that has the label like this. It's not just the pencil, watercolor pencils. You're gonna start by picking out your colors, and I wanna do a sunset. So I'm gonna do red, orange, and yellow. If you need to sharpen these, you'll use a handheld sharpener. Then, when you're ready to start, you just take your pencils, and you don't have to draw pictures. We're just filling up the paper with color. So, back and forth, not leaving big open white spaces. If I leave big spaces in my coloring like that, I'm not gonna have much color on my paper when I paint. The more colored pencil you lay down, the more paint you're laying down, and the more bright and colorful your paper will be. So if I want it to be really, really red, I have to make my coloring really, really red with not a lot of white spaces. Be careful when you get to the edges. If you go off the paper and then come back in, you might accidentally pick up the paper like I am now, and it might bend your paper. So when you get to the edges, go slower and don't push so hard. Okay, once your whole paper is filled in, like mine is, I didn't color perfectly, but it has a lot of color all over the paper. Once you're at this stage, you are ready to paint. But first, let's talk about the colors I chose. I chose 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. They're neighbors on the color wheel. Red is right next to orange, who lives right next to yellow. When you choose your colors, I would like you to choose 3 colors that are in a row on the color wheel. You could choose red, orange, yellow, green, yellow, green, blue, purple, blue, purple, red, or purple, red, orange. Then you're gonna color it just like I did, and you're ready to paint. If you choose a color scheme like that, you're choosing an analogous color scheme. Can everyone say analogous? Very good. Okay, so now that we have our analogous color schemes, grab a brush, a cup of water, and a paper towel. Okay, the only thing that you need to do to get this to be paint is take your brush, dip it in your water, and then just start to paint. When you start to move the water over top of your coloring, you'll see that the white spaces start to disappear and the colorful parts start to fill in where those white spaces were. You're going to paint back and forth like I am, but when you paint, you only use the hair of the brush. We do not want our paintbrush to scoot around on its bottom, which is that metal part, because nobody wants somebody to scoot their bottom all over their artwork. So we only use his hair, we give him a nice hair day, no headaches, and we paint back and forth. If you have the metal part on your paper and you're pushing too hard, you might rip your paper, or you might leave scratches in your design, which you don't want. You're just gonna go back and forth down the entire paper, going into the water when you need to, and then coming back to our paper. But we move on once a spot is done. We don't stay and keep working in the water, because if we did that, our paper would be way too wet, and then it might rip again. We have to be very careful that we wet the paper, get it to be paint, and then move on. Once you are done with your entire paper, make sure you get all the way to the edges. When you're done, you take both hands on either side of your paper, and you carry it like a lunch tray to the drying rack. The reason we do this is so that our painting is safe, but also so that the people around us stay safe. If we're not carrying our art with two hands like a lunch tray, it could hit somebody, it could ruin their outfit, it could hurt them. So we're gonna be responsible artists, and we're gonna pick it up with two hands and take it to the drying rack. Then your brush and your water can get cleaned up, and your paper towel can be used to wipe any mess that you left on the table. Okay, boys and girls, have fun. Bye.